Oh my God. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, they say climate change is not real, right?
Seriously.
Uh, So, how many items do you have on the agenda tonight?
Just one, and we are live.
Oh, okay.
All right, good evening, everyone. It is 6 p.m. on July 23rd, 2025. I'm your chair of the Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee. My name is Councilwoman Kelly Billadu. This committee meeting is being live broadcasting on the following outlets: HPA-TV, Comcast 96, and Frontier 6032 government channels. It will also be live streamed at hpatv.org, HPA-TV Facebook page, HPA-TV Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon TV apps. And this meeting will also be rebroadcast on HPA-TV's YouTube channel. Here with me tonight are voting committee members, Council President Shirley Surgeon and Councilman John Gale. Also in attendance is Associate Corporation Counsel Danielle Combs. I see also that Julia Jack, Director of Capital Projects and Operations, just joined us. And I believe we have Joy Marcel Lissy, Director of Clean Energy Solutions. I hope I said your name correctly. And thank you all for joining us tonight. We have one item on the agenda. That is item 2.1, Mayor Avulampalam with accompanying resolution authorizing the city of Hartford to receive NRES credits related to a solar array at Locy Road in Wellington, Connecticut. So at this time, I will give the floor to Julia Jack so that you can speak to this item.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Billadu. We're here regarding, like was mentioned, our opportunity as a city to receive energy credits through the NRES program, and that is short for non-residential renewable energy solutions. The NRES program is a state-supported initiative designed to help municipalities like ours to benefit from the cost of renewable energy without requiring direct capital investment, which is an important portion of it. The resolution presented today would authorize the city of Hartford to receive NRES credits related to a proposed solar array installation on Loce Road in Wellington, Connecticut. Again, like was mentioned, this particular solar project, which will be developed by a company called Verigy, will generate renewable energy, and in turn, the city will receive energy credits tied to that production. Our energy consultant, Bridge Energy, is here with us today. They have estimated that the total savings from this agreement could amount to approximately $760,000 over a 20-year period. That's approximately $38,000 a year. And I don't know if it's exactly an equal yearly cost, but Joey, if you have questions for that, Joey can help clear that up. And by participating in this program, we, the city, stand to significantly reduce our overall electricity costs, which will further both our financial and climate action goals. So we respectfully request that the council support us in moving forward with this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Joey, would you like to say anything regarding the resolution?
I think Julia spoke to it very well. The only piece that I would want to add is there's a lot of opportunity in this program for the city of Hartford to benefit from the financial arrangement. There's very low risk to these projects. There at any time, the city has the ability to walk away. Essentially, there's a lot of partners out there for developers to work with that there wouldn't be a problem finding alternative offtake. So very low risk, no out-of-pocket expense. The city has already approved and moved forward with 7 other projects with a different developer, Lodestar. Those projects in total, I believe, will bring into the city around $210,000 a year. This project with Verigy is the first of 3. We'll bring in around $38,000 a year. The other 2 that will be coming up shortly in the next few months for contracting will be around $117,000 per year, additional to the 38. So, great developers that we work with. Really good partnership and opportunity for the city.
Thank you so much. And before I forget, Julia, I just want to congratulate you on your new position. I haven't seen you since you were promoted to that position, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Do we have any discussion on the item? Go ahead, Council President.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To congratulations, Julia, also, and taking over. You got some big feet, some big shoes to fill.
Yes,
He did
yes.
a fabulous job, and he has brought some of these credits to the committee over the past, year or so. Where was the solar project? I was trying to take notes. Where is it going to be located? Some street? I didn't get that.
Los
Los? Where was
Road. I think it's-
LOSHE.
Oh, yeah, in Willington.
Okay, so how does that work if it's in Newington and we're in Hartford? How does that, um, allow us to take the advantage of the NRES credit if it's not
Yeah,
a
I can
Hartford resident?
I
Can
can
you
speak to
explain that?
that one.
Sure.
Um, the mechanisms of the NRES program actually incentivize developers to partner with what they classify as SAM customers, SAM utility customers, so state, agricultural, and municipal entities. The city of Hartford, being on the Connecticut Distressed Municipalities list, has an additional bid preference into the NRES program of 20%. So that's one of the reasons that you see a lot of interest with the city of Hartford and a few other cities throughout the state with these developers wanting to partner, is it actually enables the developer to collect more incentive revenue and therefore share a good percentage with the city as well. The power is not directly sent to the city, so this is strictly a financial transaction. All of the power is sent directly back to the grid and contributes to a greener grid in Connecticut overall, but doesn't directly get sent to the city of Hartford. On-site generation projects located physically, on your buildings, rooftops, those will send power directly to the city. They're behind the meter projects. They'll offset your load behind the meter. This is simply a financial arrangement. So that you'll find projects located all across the state that are getting sent to these financial credits are being sent to cities across the state, as long as they're in the same utility territory, which in Connecticut, Eversource is very vast.
So, for a layperson like myself, I would say, so basically because we are a distressed municipality, by partnershiping with us and by sharing some of that credit with us, and that's the benefit when working with municipalities like a Hartford.
Exactly.
Okay, got you. All right, good.
There's other incentive bid preferences for like landfills, brownfield sites, and things like that as well. This just is one of the incentive adders essentially in the program. And these days, it's a very competitive program, and so the economics are very tight. And those adders really are the only way to make some of these larger projects pencil.
And through you, Madam Chair, just one last question. And you said there was no cost to the city. And so your company will be the one who's taking most of the risk in doing this?
So we're the city of Hartford's energy consultant. So we're simply the interface between the city of Hartford and the developer. The
Got
developer is really taking all of the project risk.
mm-hmm.
So the
Oh,
city of Hartford and Bridge Energy aren't at risk for any. If the project weren't to be built, if the project didn't produce any kilowatt hours in the first year, the only downside to the city is that you wouldn't receive those credits because they're on a per kilowatt hour basis of production. So if for some reason the system wasn't operating to expectation, the city wouldn't receive those credits. However, they wouldn't ever be expected to pay any amount. It's simply a one-way credit received from Eversource directly. The other piece to that is that signing up for these does not tie up the meters that we're allocating to participate in other projects, either on-site or off-site. So ultimately, there's absolutely zero risk to the city.
okay. That was good. I think I understand. Thank you so very much for that explanation.
Of course. And if you
Yeah.
have any other questions that come up, please feel free to reach out. I know
So,
Julia has my contact information. So
so you are like you're the go-between that you represents the city and whoever, who's doing the solar information. So your job is to actually, look for municipality that these company wants to partnership with the NRES credit.
very,
Am I
very similar. Yes. We are a representative of the city. So all of the city's best interest is our best interest. So we don't partner with any specific developers. We're completely developer agnostic. We run a solicitation biannually for these projects and compare them all with our apples to apples models in-house and make a recommendation of which projects are going to be most beneficial to the city.
got you? That's what I needed to hear. Thank you so very much, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Councilman Gale?
Yeah, thank you. I've sat through a number of these, and at the end of these, I always understand it, but at the beginning, I never understand it. So excuse me for probably asking some of the same questions that I've asked before. One of these days, maybe I'll understand this. So just by sort of to conceptualize this, if I, John Gale, wanted to build a solar array somewhere, I could get the solar panels, put them on some land, and sell the electricity back to the grid, right?
Correct.
And our partner here is going to do that. They're going to build a solar array and they're going to sell it back to the grid.
Correct.
But because they're partnering with us, because we're a silent partner, limited partner, whatever we are, we're a partner. Because they're partnering with us, they're going to get more than just what I as an individual would get. If I put my solar array up, I get paid for the electricity I produced at some rate. But the rate that they're going to get paid for this electricity is more because they're partnering with the municipality. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes and no. So to try to explain it at a very high level, the project's incentive rates are determined by the size of the project. So with these larger projects, these commercial grade projects, yes, if they're all commercial grade, then you would receive more for partnering with a municipality. Not only that, it actually has to occur. You have to partner with a state agricultural or municipal entity in order for the project to happen. If you have on-site load, so if you're consuming what you're generating on site, then you don't have to partner with anyone. You can do a behind the meter project. But if you're putting an array on a field where there's no associated consumption there, then you have to send it back to the grid and partner with someone that's virtually off taking it. But you are correct in the sense that they are receiving, since the city of Hartford's on the Connecticut Distressed Municipalities list, they're receiving 20% additional bid preference from what they would have received. So if they were originally going to receive 10 cents per kilowatt hour, now they receive 12 cents per kilowatt hour.
And who's paying that difference, the 12 cents? Is that Eversource? Is it the state of Connecticut? Or is it me as a ratepayer?
So it's actually it's a state of Connecticut program that is administered by the utilities Eversource and United Illuminating. So Eversource is where you would receive the payment from, but it is a state funded program.
So the state to get more solar, I guess that comes down to the state of Connecticut is interested in having more solar arrays, and in order to do that, they're incentivizing these developers to build them because they're going to get paid more than you would get just by producing electricity.
Exactly.
Well, maybe I understand it a little bit better, but
yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of programs in other states that are very similar. In Massachusetts, for example, there's the SMART program. The beneficial offtake of the credits is set up a little bit differently. But ultimately in Connecticut, what they were trying to do when writing the program was trying to incentivize some benefit, not to just go to these developers in the state, but to go to, state entities, agricultural entities and municipal entities to help support a broader purpose in the state to help contribute to funds for municipalities and other entities to participate in their own projects as well. So.
I know I'm digressing, but it just seems at some level, it's like if the state wants to give the city money, just give us the money. If we're going to get 30-something thousand dollars out of this, which seemingly is coming from the state of Connecticut to Eversource, to the developer, and then to us, they could just give us the money. So I guess I still don't quite get the whole policy model. For some reason, it sounds as though the state really doesn't want private companies generating electricity all on their own. They want these private companies, as you said, when you get to a good size, they want these companies to be partnered with municipalities. I guess I should have participated in the discussions at the legislature when they passed this thing, and maybe to have a better understanding. But it just, there's something non-intuitive about this whole program. That said, I mean, who am I to turn, look a gift horse in the mouth? I'm certainly going to vote for it. I'm just, I don't know. Does anything I said make sense?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of shared feelings about it as well. So, but it's ultimately, like you said, at the end of the day, the benefit is to the city. So I think it's a great opportunity, and, it would be something that we wouldn't want to pass up. There's only 2 more years of the program. So get one of those things, get it while you can,
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Go ahead, Julia. I know you wanted to say
Madam
something.
Chair.
Sure.
Yeah, so Councilman Gale, I think the way I try to reason it and make sense of it is that it's an incentive for private companies to build solar, so we have more clean energy. So it's an incentive for them, knowing that they're going to get something extra. And by sharing it with a municipality like ours, they can't directly tap into us and give us that clean power at a lower rate. So it's sort of virtually plugging into us, saying we want to plug into the city of Hartford's grid, sort of virtually, make pretend, assuming that this power that just goes out into a grid, could go anywhere, that we're using it. I don't know if that helped make sense, but I just it's almost like a virtual cable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the majority of not only Eversource's grid in Connecticut, but all of New England's grid at some level is interconnected. And so some of those electrons are going to make their way to the city of Hartford. And really, ultimately, what it's doing is allowing the project to contribute to a greener grid and to Connecticut's renewable portfolio standards and help reduce emissions. So ultimately, as more of these solar projects come online and there's more green energy in Connecticut, it will make the energy portfolio of the city of Hartford greener as well. So yeah, there is an indirect relation.
It all sounds though as it, and maybe this is the case. It sounds as though building a solar array is just not economical for anybody. So that we don't have a lot of players out there who would just go out and build a solar array if they weren't getting this kickback. Kickback, that's not a very good word, but if they weren't getting a little boost here in payment. So we're incentivizing the construction of these solar arrays because we want clean energy. We don't want to be reliant on fossil fuels forever. I guess, and I was just reading some article this morning, I think, about the cost of solar panels, where 5 years ago, it was 3 times, and I may be misquoting this, but it sounded like they were saying something along the lines of to generate electricity with fossil fuel versus solar was costing 3 times as much with solar to generate the same electricity. And today it's costing 41% of fossil fuel, so that solar's actually gotten a whole lot more efficient. So maybe when this program runs out, there will be people who will be more than willing to build solar arrays because the cost has come way down. Anyway, I know we're getting pretty far afield on this, but thank you.
Thank you. I also want to recognize that committee member Councilman Thomas has joined us. Councilman Thomas, do you have any questions you'd like to ask or any comments?
Thank you so much. No, I don't have any comments. I'm sorry for my delay in getting here for the presentation, but thank you so much, Councilman Gale, for your questions, and Ms. Jack for your response to some of those as well. I think it's a benefit, and cleaner energy is great for the city and great for our state, and so I'm completely in support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I feel like I learned a lot about this last time you made the presentation. I'm learning more tonight. But I know when we have the opportunity as residential owners to choose our supplier, I believe, right? We have the option of clean energy versus, the regular kilowatt hours. So I'm assuming that over time, this makes the clean energy kilowatt per hour price go down at some point, because I know that was all when I would go to select, it was always more expensive. So it sounds like that there would be some future cost savings there. So I think that's also a really good thing. And I'm just, if I'm hearing you correctly and reading this correctly, we have the opportunity to receive up to $38,000 per year, correct? It's not a guaranteed 38,000.
That's correct. It could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less.
Okay,
So
but it can,
that's a
so it can exceed that, because I know like with a personal homeowner, you could cap with your solar supplier. So
yes, you can receive more than that credit. That's an estimate based off of the estimated production of the array and where we think the bid price came in. All of that information will become transparent to us. And in terms of the rate that was received by the developer, that information will become transparent to us as soon as we receive the first credit from Eversource. And so then we'll be able to have much more accurate projections, but that 38,000 number should be pretty close to the mark.
wonderful. Thank you, Joey and Julia, for your presentations and answers to all the questions. If there's
One more.
President, sure, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. We've been approving these credits, including the landfill, if I remember correctly, right? So this, I mean, I'm just remembering this is probably about a year or so now, maybe a little bit longer. So at what point do we get a report, maybe from Joey or someone else, with all the credits and everything that we're approved? When do we see some reports that, that's these credits and whatever we're getting is being delivered at some point? That's probably to you, Julia.
That's a good question. I know the additional arrays on the landfill haven't been installed yet, so they will be hopefully soon. I say soon, maybe within months. And then these credits, I don't think the developer has built yet. So
that's correct.
Joey, maybe you can tell us if we have any other reports on the arrays we have now, and then we can do another report maybe next year and see where we've gone when we built more.
Yeah, absolutely. There's two projects that are existing and online. They're not in the same program, however. They're in the old program, the VNM program in Connecticut. So those are actively receiving credits. The net benefit to the city is roughly $50,000 a year per project on those two. The mechanism of that program is a little bit different and complicated. So this is going to be a much simpler program for the city to participate in. The estimated first credits for three of the 7 Lodestar projects where the city has already signed agreements for should start flowing by the first quarter of 2026. So they're nearing completion of construction, and we would expect 3 of those projects to be online in the beginning of 2026 with hopefully around 9 projects online by the end of 2026. So would be receiving a good percentage of those credits and only really waiting on 3 more projects after that to come online by the end of next year. But there hasn't been any NRES credits sent to the city to date.
Oh, thank you for that. We've been, again, the timeline and been approving of it. I've not been paying attention, but at least, every little bit helps, revenue generation. So thank you for that and look forward to seeing where we are at the end of 2026.
Yeah, of course. And all said and done, once all the projects are online and excluding the landfill projects, we estimate the annual credit value to be around $550,000 a year to the city.
Hey, nothing to sneeze at, that's for
No.
sure. Absolutely. So thank you and again, hopefully my memory will be alive come the end of next year, so we can actually get an update of, where we are by that time. So thank you very much for that. Thank you, Madam
Thank you
Chair.
all.
That's it for me.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate all your questions and commentary. Do we have any other questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
What am I?
I'll move to send this back to council with a favorable recommendation with special thanks to Council President for drawing our attention to the revenue side of this.
Hey.
And so now we need to all remember come
Right.
next budget season to look at our budget book and see where is the line item revenue from NRES. We're gonna turn to that as soon as we get the budget book. But for tonight, we're gonna send this back to council favorably.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and properly seconded to send this item back to the full council with a favorable recommendation. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you all so much. Seeing we have no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for all joining us tonight and have a great evening.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Thank you all.
Have a good
Have a
night.
great
Same
evening.
too. Have a
Bye-bye.